Hi, my name is Quintin Gerard W, also known as the Funky Sax Player. I'm a three-time number one back-to-back Billboard Airplay charting artist and Recording Academy voting member. On this channel, I discuss focus, clarity, and structure for musicians navigating the music industry. So stay tuned, it's coming up. Hi, welcome. My name is Quintin Gerard W, and this is where you're going to learn about the music industry. And hopefully, the videos that I'm going to be putting out are going to be beneficial to you. Today's episode is episode 1, and this is the very first one, so it's going to kind of be unscripted. And as we move forward, we'll get more refined with that. But welcome and glad to have you. This channel and this episode is not about overnight success. This is not one of those kind of channels or situations where I'm gonna promise you the world and no. This is about clarity. I created this channel for one simple reason: to help musicians understand how the music business actually works and what is the music business for that matter, so they can move forward with structure instead of guesswork. Because I know when I started many years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of winging it. And so I was always like, man, if somebody could have had a kind of step-by-step 1, 2, 3 how to do this, it would have really saved me a lot of time. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help those of you out there that don't really know the 1, 2, 3s about the music industry and how it works. I'm here to help you at least have some guidance, like kind of like a big brother or something like that, to help you navigate that. All right, so welcome, and let's get started. And the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is the music business? All right, so thank you for hanging in there. Before we get started, we have to define really what is the music business. Okay, so the music business can be broken down into two elements: the music business and the business of music. All right, let that sink in, because that's very important as we go along in this process and in this journey we're on. So the music business encompasses all the inner workings that make this particular industry operate on many different and multiple levels of revenue streams. I know that's a mouthful, but in a nutshell, the music business, or the music industry, as some people say, is kind of the same as any other industry. It has multiple layers. It's not just record deals and recording contracts, which most people think. That's not it. That's not the music industry or the music business. The music business is record contracts, it's recording studios, it's engineering, it's mastering, it's publishing, it's touring, and you get the picture. It's a lot of different things that make up the music business. Okay, so when you say I want to be in the music business, you really gotta hone in on what you're saying. What are you actually saying? What part of the music business do you want to be in? Because a lot of people, when they say, yeah, I want to be in the music business, we all assume that they want to be a singer in front of 50,000 people or something like that. See, so that's the first thing we've got to start with and clarify here on this journey of clarity and structure. We have to identify what we're doing, because if you're just running out there, running around, you're gonna run around and do a whole bunch of stuff but get nowhere. All right. So the second part of that equation is the business of music. All right. So that leads us to the question: what is the business of music versus the music business? Well, the business of music is more about calculated focus on one or more aspects or revenue streams generated by the music business. Okay, where through specific actions and direction and focus, you can get the desired outcome that you're seeking. That's the business of music. In other words, when you take action on one specific area, whether that be, let's say, publishing, or whether that may be backline and instrument rentals or, record contracts, yeah, that's fine. If that's your focus and that's where you want to focus your attention, no problem. But that's the business of music, because now you're going to be handling your business, which brings me to another caveat, which is very important. You need to stop thinking like a musician and start thinking like a businessman or a businesswoman, okay? Because being creative and having talent is very important, but understanding that your creativity and your talent is your business, okay? That's very important. So understand that well. That being said, now we've got a big picture and we also have a microcosmic understanding of the music business and the business of music and how those two work together to make you successful and to provide a career path that's unquestioned in terms of where you want to go. All right? All right, so stay tuned and I'm going to give you the first caveat on how to start and not get lost. Okay, one of the most absolute important things that you have to do before you even think about two things we spoke about earlier, which is the music business or the business of music, is the most important thing you have to do is understand who you are. Because people in this business will say, well, who are you? Who is that? Have you heard of this person? Who is that? That's what they're going to say. And not from standpoint, do they know you personally? No, they're going to say, who are you? What do you do? How do you do what you do? Why is what you doing different than what someone else is doing and is important to what we are doing and what we need? Let that sink in. That's a big deal. So believe it or not, this is the first step in failure that most musicians and artists make without even knowing it. They don't know who or what they are. Yeah. So I'm here to cut out all the drama and remove all the weeds and let you know we can't go on this journey without you knowing who you are, what you are, who you want to be, and where you want to go. Okay? So this is I guess you would say, a way that artists and musicians subconsciously sabotage their careers even before they even get started, because they are afraid of themselves. They haven't sat down with a pen and paper, yes, with a pen and paper, and write down who they are, who you are. I didn't do it, so I'm not telling you something that I don't already know, because I didn't do it. That's why I spent 30 years in this business running around until I finally sat down and said, okay, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. Get my business together, blah, blah, blah. And that's how we got going. And the results speaks for themselves. Okay, so I'm telling you from experience, pull out a notepad, get a pen and paper, put your name at the top of it, and write down who you are. In other words, what do I play? How do I play it? What do I want to get out of the music business? What do I want to contribute to the music business? What can I do about the business of music? How does the business of music relate to me? And what will be my contribution to it? And what revenue streams are available that I, based on my personality, will be attracted to? Okay, that's real. So once we get that going together, then you're going to lose fear. And fear is a major factor here in this music business thing for many people. For whatever reason, it affects folks, all right? And then the way we get rid of fear is to becoming familiar with who we are and what our strengths, our weaknesses, and our opportunities and threats are, okay? For those of you in business, you know that as a SWOT analysis, okay? So we're going to get rid of fear. So if you're afraid then you're not going to get very far in not just this industry, but in any industry. You can't have fear. So eliminate fear out of your life. Just let that be known right now. Get rid of fear. Don't be afraid of anything or anybody. Okay. Be confident in yourself and know yourself. And that will eliminate fear out of your equation. Take that from me. All right. So that being said, we talked about a lot today. We talked about the music industry, as some call it, or the music business. We also talked about the business of music, how important it is to understand the difference between the two. And we also talked about getting to know who you are and the importance of knowing who you are. And through knowing who you are, you eliminate fear, which is going to be your biggest enemy. All right. So we've got to kick him out. We got to get rid of Mr. Fear. He's got to go, or Mrs. Fear, however you want to look at it. All right. So that said, thank you for joining me on this first episode. And we're going to pick up next time when I see you guys again. After you get to know yourself, we're going to get back and we're going to understand how, now that you know yourself, we're going to talk about confidence and the role that confidence plays in you navigating a successful career path in music. Thank you. If this video helped you, subscribe now for more real-world music guidance. And remember, talent matters, but structure makes it sustainable. See you next time.